What's up, y'all? This is Henny. And listen, man, I woke up to some exciting news today from Apple. They're releasing Logic 10.5. And I know you're saying, man, you about this iPad life. What if the iPad and Logic are starting to, you know what I'm talking about, come together and become one? Could this be a reality? I don't know. We're going to check it out now. Let's go!
The business.
So I'm sitting here on Twitter scrolling and I see Logic comes up with one of the biggest updates since Logic Pro X, talking about Logic Pro 10.5 and all its updates. Let's just break down what's going on and how that relates to somebody using iPhones and iPads and how interesting this could get for us musicians and music creatives. So it's showing you right now, they're coming out with some super powerful tools with Logic Pro X. The first thing up is live loops, you know what I mean? Basically taking some of those ideas that they have from GarageBand and now they're bringing it in to Logic. Basically live loops, being able to create in a dynamic way on your Logic system, triggering different cells, doing all of the things that a lot of people who are very comfortable using GarageBand are going to be able to easily start to do in Logic Pro X. Listen, I'm trying to tell y'all, this Logic Pro X, I have a good feeling it's going to be coming to iOS devices sooner than we think. Let's keep going. Being able to remix, being able to use the remote. They've had Logic Remote before. They've had, different tools so that if you had Logic on your laptop or Logic on, a Mac Mini or some type of Mac Pro or iMac, you'll be able to use it remotely. But now they're adding the full functionality, being able to really go in, do things like, maybe doing a live set or being in a studio and run room and recording and mixing and actually really being able to do the things you want to do in Logic on your iPad remotely. This thing is going to get even better, right? The Remix FX tools, bringing like the DJ FX style. If any of you have used Cubase 2, Cubase 3 on the iPad, you know that they've had DJ style Remix FX plugins on their app for a while. It's good to see that coming to Logic Pro X as well. Being able to really do things to really flip and change and reorganize and do some fun stuff with your tracks. Man, listen, they brought the whole step sequencer into Logic as well. So for those who are really interested in step sequencing, step sequencing is now a thing for Logic Pro X. But the big thing for me is Logic Remote, Touch, and Flow. It says right now, right? Logic Remote will let you use your iPhone or iPad to control Logic Pro X on your Mac using the MultiTouch gestures, Remix effects, live loops, all of that. Swipe and tap, trigger cells in the live loops, and tilt, your phone or iPad up and down to be able to use it, with the gyroscope, and manipulate filters and repeaters and remix effects. Think about that when you have a track going and you really want to freak it out and then you're using something like your phone to be able to, maybe do some remix effects to a part or a bridge or a breakdown. I think this is going to give some really interesting ways to start combining, the Logic and the Mac software with the iOS software. It's just getting closer. We got multi-touch mixing and pair and play, using a variety of on-screen instruments such as keyboards, guitars, drum pads to play any software instrument in Logic from your iPad or your iPhone. So if you have, your favorite, drums or your favorite keys and you want to be able to play that and try that out using your iPad, using iOS devices, you're going to be able to do that connected all through Logic Pro. They've updated their plugins. They've updated their sounds. They got a new sampler. Look, they got, a quick sampler where you can really go in and do a fast way to work with a single sample. They've really redone the whole ESX sampler module. They got the drum synth. They got the drum machine designer. For all you drum sound designers, this is going to be an amazing tool for you as well. And they've updated the drummer. You know, for all of those who aren't as keen on drum programming, they've updated the drummer, got even more drummers, got even more sounds going in with that. I mean, they got a ton of things going on. Compositions and performances, using your studios. Your studio will always be in session, right? The ultimate way to record, getting the most out of your MIDI. You know, they got the smart tempo, flex time, flex pitch, track alternatives. All of these things have been in Logic Pro for a while. Now, what is my take on all of this new goodness from Logic Pro X? So, I mean, a little bit of a background. I think I've created the bulk of my catalog, you know, that I have out there in the universe right now was probably made using Logic Pro with something like Machine or something like that back, you know, in the last 10 to 15 years. I did a lot of extensive work using Logic Pro X. I really like the idea of using the iPad, using the gestures, being able to bring in you know, sounds and play with them, being able to mix directly using, you know, your iOS devices. And it's just giving people an idea. I really feel like it's the gateway to giving people an idea of how to use Logic on an iOS device. Now, we all know these iPad Pros, these iPhones, the iPhone SE, they're super powerful, and I think they're more powerful than most people give them credit for when doing heavy tasks like something like Logic Pro, Final Cut Pro. And I truly believe Apple is trying to find a way to bridge the gap between all of these features. Now, we all know WWDC is a little more than a month away, and it's exciting to see what iOS 14 is going to have and what type of capabilities it's going to be able to do even more. So I'm looking at this like, okay, Logic with this functionality of these iPads, with the functionality with something like these Magic Keyboards, I really feel like there's a better way for us to be mobile using iOS devices. I'm really hoping to see in the coming future a full-on Logic Pro X on iOS devices. I mean, we're one step closer, you know, and I think once the beta testing and the reviews come in from people using these things combined, you know, we'll start to see more implementation of these bigger apps coming to iOS software. I know that it's capable. I know that I've been using, you know, my iPads and my iPhones to basically do my whole brand, my whole career now using these devices. So yeah, these devices are definitely capable. But yeah, that's pretty much it, man. I had to let y'all know, for those who had not heard, Logic iPads. Listen, it's coming together, peanut butter and jelly style. You know what I'm talking about. That's all I got for y'all today. Just something quick and easy update, and something that I'm excited about. So hopefully y'all excited about as well. Drop some thoughts in the comments below. Let me know what y'all thinking, and let me know if I'm on the right track, if we're thinking the same thing. I'll catch y'all next time. Hit 'em out!